Dear students, today we will discuss about your mechanical working subjects. The topic is your hot working and cold working. There are two types of working. Mechanical working is carried out for different processes. Our mechanical working processes as rolling, forging and extrusions and wire drawing, all the processes are classified into two groups. One is your hot working, another is cold working. So, before going to that, we should know what is hot working and cold working. There is one temperature that is called recrystallization temperature. If we will do the work above the recrystallization temperature, then it is your hot working. If it is below the recrystallization temperature, then it is cold working. So, before going to the details, so first we will go to the hot working. So, here we have mentioned that hot working refers to deformation carried out under condition of temperature and strain at such that recovery process occur during deformation process, so that large deformation can be achieved without strain hardening. So, during this process our strain rate and deformation in such a way that the recovery and recreation takes simultaneously. So, we can do maximum numbers of maximum amount of working, mechanical working. So, hot working process are such as rolling, forging, extrusions are used as first step to convert cast structure to wrought product. So, in mechanical, in your hot working, it lower energy required to deform the metal and increase the ability to deform without cracking. Hot working is carried out at a temperature above 0.6 melting temperatures. So, this is the definition of hot working. If we will do the work above the recrystallization temperature, then it is hot working. And during this hot working, the deformations and recovery of the deformations take place simultaneously. So, such that we can get much more amount of mechanical working can be carried out at simultaneously. So, next we will go to some what is the advantages of your hot working. So, there are some advantages of hot working. Suppose first is your it is decrease the chemical inhomogeneities due to diffusion at higher temperature of cast ingot structures. So, it decrease the chemical inhomogeneities, means their chemical composition gets uniform throughout the time. Second is blowholes porosity are eliminated by welding together of this cavity. During hot working, if there is some defects, that is blowholes and cavities, they get welded up. So, next is coarse columnar grains of casting broken to smaller recrystallized grain. Then this increase the ductility of metals and toughness of metals. So, these are the advantages of your hot working. So, due to this advantages, we will go for hot working. Next, we will go to for disadvantage. What are the disadvantages? So, disadvantages, these are the disadvantages of your hot working. Number one is surface reaction. This is surface reaction between metal and furnace atmosphere becomes a problem. Due to hot working carried out in air, some metal lost due to high temperature oxidations. So, carried out at some metal lost due to high temperature oxidation. Surface decarbonization of steel can be a serious problem. Extensive surface finish required to remove decarbonized layer. Rolled in oxide makes it difficult to produce good surface finish in hot rolled product. So, there is some defects which is occurs due to the rolling products. So, there is some oxidations and surface and the decarbonization of the surface layers takes place. Decarbonization of surface layer takes place. So, these are the disadvantages of our hot working. Next, we will go to next. Also, there is certain defect, that is due to expansion and contraction, greater dimension tolerance is required, that we know. Then structure and properties of hot work product is not uniform throughout the metal cross section. Surface layer will have fine recrystallized grain and center will have higher temperature. In that case, when we will do the forging or rolling, the surface gets more energy. For that, the grains refinement takes place at the surface and it is less to center of the product. So, that is the disadvantage which we will get. We will not get a uniform your grain structure throughout the structures. That is last is your we have to lower temperature limit for hot working of a metal is the lowest temperature at which rate of recrystallization is rapid enough to eliminate strain hardening in time of metal when it is at temperatures. So, we will select a temperature such that the strain hardening effect in the working should be should be recovered during the your working hot working conditions. So, these are the disadvantages. Dimension tolerance also disadvantages to in case of your hot working, because we have to provide more dimension tolerance in case of hot working product. Then this is also there is some points in case of your hot working, that is upper limit for hot working is determined by the temperature at which either melting or excessive oxidation occurs. Most hot working operations are carried out in number of multiple pass or steps. Finishing usually takes place minimum required temperature in order to ensure fine recrystallization temperatures. So, these are the facts or these are the disadvantages which is takes place in your hot working. Then we will come to cold working. Cold working, we know it is carried out below the recrystallization temperatures. Here it is already there, cold working is carried out below the recrystallization temperature. Recrystallization temperature means that is also the temperature is the temperature at which the complete metal is recrystallized. Recrystallization, again crystallization takes place and new strain free grains takes place, formation takes place. So, that is the temperature that is called recrystallization temperatures. So, then we will come to cold working. So, below this recrystallization temperature we are conducting cold working. So, cold working increases strength, and this is the important point, cold working increases strength and hardness. Due to cold working, strength and hardness is increased, but in case of hot working, that is balanced by the recovery, recrystallization and annealing phenomena. So, this is regarding the cold work. So, sequence of repeated cold work annealing is called cold work anneal cycles. So, different cold work product like strip wares are produced with different appear depending on the last cold work with same finish annealing. So, basically cold working is carried out below the recrystallization temperatures and it increase the hardness and strength. This is the main important point of this cold working. So, you see the cold work anneal cycles. This cold work anneal cycles means this is the cold work. In the cold work, actually strength is increased, ductility is decreased. This is your percent of cold work, this is strength or ductility. These are the properties. During properties or metals, strength is increased, ductility is decreased. That is in the your cold work conditions. Again, we will go for the annealing. This strength is again down and ductility again increase. Then we will go for cold work, and repeatedly we can do it. In case of your hot working, this both are combines, means there is no strength and ductility recrystallization it will take place recrystallization. So, that ductility is we are getting back and strength is down. So, these two phenomena takes place in hot working. You understand na? Cold work and how in the cold work strength is increased, ductility is decreased. To again improve ductility, we will go for annealing. In annealing, ductility is increased, strength is decreased. Then we will go for the cold work. This is called cold work anneal cycles. So, this is all about the hot working and cold working. So, these two things is carried out in different process, suppose in hot forging, cold forging, hot rolling, cold rolling and hot extrusion, cold extrusions, all these processes are carried out accordingly. So, this is all about the topics. Okay.